Welcome to GDX Talks, where we explore how data, standards, and collaboration are shaping the future of real estate globally. Today, I'm joined by Eman Tal, product lead at ADRES, who's been actively involved in building a more transparent and structured real estate market here in Abu Dhabi. Iman, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you, Natalie. It's great to be here.
Let's start with the foundation. For those who may not be familiar, can you tell us what ADRES is and the role it plays in the local real estate ecosystem?
Of course. So, ADRES is a venture builder in the PropTech space. We don't just build apps or platforms, we build ventures that solve real problem in the real estate market. Our ventures sit under two verticals. The first one is where we partner with government to build the core digital infrastructure that makes sure that the market is operating efficiently, while the other one is more focused on identifying problems and building private ventures that I would say grow the PropTech ecosystem. A good example of that would be ThinkProp, which is one of our ventures that is fully focused on training and awareness. We have trained over 12,000 professionals in the real estate because we believe that infrastructure alone is not enough. It's the people who operate in that market who should understand that infrastructure, trust it, and know how to work within it. That's why we've also built a data intelligence platform that provides real time insight on price indices, investment activities, because decisions should not be based on guesswork, it should be completely based on data. But I think what really speaks ADRES is what we built in Abu Dhabi. We partnered with ADREC and with ADGM to build Madhmoun, the backbone for every market offering. Every transaction, every listing, every participant flows within Madhmoun because we believe that a healthy real estate market needs a single source of truth, and all of our ventures comes back to that.
Madhmoun has really reshaped the market. What problem were you solving when you introduced it?
We were solving a fundamental trust issue. Unfortunately, the market was flooded with duplicate listing, fake inventory, and inconsistent data that made every participant confused. So with Madmoon, we kind of solved that at the source. Every listing now is validated, verified, and compliant before it even enters the market. And that was the shift that we kind of transformed Abu Dhabi real estate market.
That's a huge achievement. I have to say, congratulations as well. Madhmoun became the first MLS in the MENA region and Asia to achieve certification. Why was that such an important step for you?
Thank you. That was a very important milestone. From the beginning, our approach wasn't just structuring the local market, but also knowing how to align with global standards. With RESO, the Real Estate Standard Organization, it provides a common framework for how real estate data is structured and exchanged globally. So, of achieving RESO certification meant that our data is not only clean and trusted, but also standardized in a way that could connect and integrate with other market. And that was intentional. Because if you want to build something like the GDX, you want that foundation. And that was intentional because if you want to build something like GDX, you need that foundation. Connectivity at a global level requires RISO compliant approach. So for us, this was a stepping stone toward global interoperability.
What would you say has been the biggest impact of that transformation?
The biggest shift has been moving from a fragmented market to more of a structured one. Now we have verified listing, standardized data, and clear governance. And that kind of standardization allow our market to integrate with the global ecosystems. And for a city like Abu Dhabi, where we have global investors coming from 100 nationalities, that level of standardization is critical.
What were the biggest challenges in getting there?
Honestly, the challenge was not technical at all, it was purely human. You're talking about aligning different stakeholders with different systems, incentives, way of working, even priorities. So that didn't happen overnight. We ran multiple training sessions, we built strong partnerships, we got brokers and developers early on in the journey. And what we learned is once people understand why the change is happening, not just what that change is, this is where the mindset shift happens and this is where the resistance fades.
ADRES is also one of the organizations supporting GDX. What attracted you to this initiative?
Once you've done the hard work of structuring the local market, getting the clear governance, standardizing the data, the next question is okay, what comes next? How do I connect my local market to the global market without losing everything that I've built? And this is where the GDX answers that. So for us, it was a very natural fit.
Why is global interoperability becoming so critical right now?
Because the demand is global, but the data has not caught up yet. Brokers, developers, and investors, they are already operating across the globe. But the markets that they are operating in, they're not talking to each other. And this is where GDX can come and bridges that gap. It takes that RESO foundation and extend it so that those markets can actually exchange data cleanly without things getting lost in translation.
And how is that different from traditional portals or syndication models?
Portals does a great job at marketing, increasing the visibility, and getting the listing in front of people. But the underlying data is often inconsistent, not really governed. What GDX does differently, it focuses on how that data moves because it's built on RESO standard and a federated model, which means that the data integrity, attribution, and who owns that data is preserved as the data crosses the market.
Let's go deeper on that. How does GDX protect the local market authority while enabling global collaboration?
That's the power of federated model. The listing always belongs to the originating market. The rules, the ownership of that market travels with the data, and the control always remain local. GDX is not pulling everything in one central place. It's actually connecting trusted nodes that already share a common standard. So local control wasn't a trade-off, it was how the whole thing was built.
Now let's make it very tangible. If a broker lists a property on GDX, who owns the listing, who controls it, and who gets the lead?
The originating broker in the local market always remain in full control. They own the listing, they define how it's displayed, and they receive the lead. GDX ensures global exposure but doesn't compromise the ownership or the attribution of the data.
Do you believe GDX can accelerate foreign investment into markets like Abu Dhabi?
Absolutely. Investment follow trust and clarity. When data is standardized through framework like RESO, you verify it through system like Madhmoun and then made accessible like GDX, you already remove friction from the decision making. And that what could enable cross-border investment at scale.
Now let's talk about AI. How do you see it impacting real estate?
AI will definitely reshape how people discover properties, how valuations are done, and how decisions are made. But AI is only as good as the data working with, because unstructured and inconsistent data doesn't give you insight, it only gives you noise. And that's what RESO solves. It solves the foundation level, and GDX extend that structure globally. That what could make AI useful in real estate.
Where do you see GDX in the next few years?
In the next few years, I see GDX becoming a global network of markets operating on a shared standard, while seamless discovery and collaboration isn't aspirational, it's just how it works. I think what excites me the most is that on the ground, imagine an investor in London or Singapore, they will be able to access properties in Abu Dhabi the same way they would access it in their own country. And for a broker, it means global exposure. They can push any property from anywhere in the world.
And finally, if you had to describe GDX in one sentence, what would it be?
GDX is the bridge between local market authority, RESO standard, and global real estate opportunity.
Eman, this has been a very insightful conversation. What stands out to me is how everything starts with building trust at the local level and then scales globally through standards and collaboration. It's exciting to see how what you've built with Madhmoun is now evolving into something so much bigger with GDX. Thank you for sharing your perspective.
Thank you, Natalie. It was really a pleasure.